was fun. I learned a lot, right, aspect-wise, outside of what, it's probably going to be shown. Good conversations, good learning experience overall. It's not just like, this is the way and that's it. And that's something that I appreciate. I would recommend giving it a shot, right? People might not be in the same circumstance. They might not have the same options. They might not get the same opportunity, but give it a shot, learn something. You don't have to necessarily fall in love with it, but it doesn't hurt. What's $30 for you to learn something that you could potentially like? People can spend more on a new pipe that they've never tried before. Why not do it with a tobacco in a different way than you're accustomed to? I'd say low risk, high reward. Put away preconceived notions of the brand that you haven't spoken to. I have the luxury that I've met Eric through probably 3 years ago now, and people can tell me, and I can get input from other people of who he is, but if you haven't met him, you haven't spoken with him, and he hasn't given you the opportunity to have a conversation with him and listen to actually a conversation, not a one-sided disagreement, right? Because that's a very different line. Everyone here will listen to you and talk to you. They're not going to tell you you're smoking wrong. They're not going to be rude to you about it. And anyone who tells you that, consider both sides of the story, right? This brand hasn't been here and hasn't lasted as long as they have if they haven't been doing something right. Yes, we are consumers, and yes, we have that argument in place as a consumerist-based market, but at the same time, it doesn't hurt to listen to your manufacturer. Right? You listen to your manufacturer. If there's a recall on your car, why not do it with tobacco where you're using it daily? I guess the best way to respond to that is use your voice of reason and look at the longevity of the company, look at what they have done and what their feedback is, and realize there are things they cannot say. There are things that they do that they keep secret on for a reason. And that no part of it is something where they don't want to tell you because they don't want to tell you. They don't want to tell you because we're in a competitive market, right? If I shared every flavoring recipe that I have, every Joe Schmo is going to go and try and make that flavor, right? How many ripoffs for Cane Min are there? Or as you and I have said, how many funnables have existed since you made the funnable? It's the same principle, is that once people figure it out, they're going to try and do it. And that's even on what I've experienced, right? I'm learning my aspects of what goes into making it, so I have an appreciation of it. But by all means, I'm not going to tell someone what I'm doing is right, and I'm not going to let them know my steps, because it could be wildly different depending on the person and the other aspects that go into it. So, end of the day, just hear them out. Between Jacob, Gabe, Travis is my homie, he knows that, I've never had a bad interaction with anyone here. And if it was a situation, I feel comfortable in reaching out to any of you and being like, hey, what's going on? Is it something that I need to be expressing concern over? What's the fix, and where do I go from here? And it's a culture that exists even 5-6 years ago. There is sometimes people bash to bash because it's popular culture. And that's the wrong way to look at it. So, yeah, that is my monologue, if you will. Yeah, I think that it's definitely, as I said, I've mentioned, it's a different aspect, but it's an aspect that it hasn't been a displeasure. It hasn't been something where this entire time I'm not enjoying it, right? How many times were we smoking off camera, right? It's not like we're smoking off camera and we're being privy to say, oh, we're smoking our way. We're not. And it's if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't smoke it. And that's just how I am. Every bowl that I've had, whether in every evaluation has been fair, it's been consistent, and it's something where it's not, as I say, there's not only one way to smoke, right? And it's going to be, there's nothing wrong in a little bit of suggestion. Community does it all the time. What's wrong with a manufacturer being involved to suggest, hey, smoke this way, this is how we like it. If you don't, I guess not, but it's enjoyable. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Well, thanks for giving us 2 days of your time and stopping by, hearing us out, trying new things, and picking some stuff up.
Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. It'll be a fun time integrating and waiting for some of these, especially some of these to come out. I'm excited for the future, man. It's all we have is the future, so hopefully. We'll see how 2020 goes.